come in and take out like all of their Corsairs. Here he comes in attacking the natural expansion though. Cal going for the kill, getting a few nice storms off on a lot of the lurkers and all the units coming to try and move out to engage this army. But I guess he figures there's too many lurkers in Sunken, so he's actually going to fall back. Hydralisk just going to work on those gateways for some reason. Maybe he's worried Cal's going to drop. Oh, here comes the Scourge coming in. Too many Corsairs. Only one Corsair gets taken out, but they are going to have to run from those Hydralisks, of course. Cal has taken his third base long before. He's got a large army roaming around the middle of the map. ggaemo is taking his fourth. The hatchery just popped up moments ago. So Cal is actually doing really well as far as econ goes, as far as keeping up with the Zerg and not letting the Zerg get too far behind. Corsairs just running around killing whatever they want to. There's so many Corsairs. They are almost certainly +1 upgrade, although I haven't checked on the upgrades recently. Uh-oh, I think those... Oh, no, he needs to get them out, though. Oh, that actually is a pretty big clump of Overlords. He needs to split those up. He's going to lose a couple of Corsairs at this rate, though. Actually, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Okay, so he's only got 7 or 8 Corsairs, and he's taking a lot of damage for just 4 or 5 Overlords. That's only, you know, 500 minerals there, and I think he lost one or... I wasn't keeping track there. 1 or 2 of his Corsairs went down. So, an okay trade, I guess, but anyway, he definitely has air control, though. If he does really want air control, he is going to have to maybe get... Well, actually, no, he killed off a lot of those Scourge, I was going to say, so never mind. So he actually does have pretty good air control. I'm talking about Cal here with those Corsairs. Fourth base trying to go up for Cal, spotted by ggaemo. Some Zerglings coming in here to try and take care of this situation, but in the meantime, Cal wiping that up with some Zealots while he goes into this expansion up here at the top right. Lots of Zealots coming in. Disruption Web going down all over the place. Disruption Web going down on the lurkers, stopping them from attacking, and he storms underneath the Disruption Webs. The Zealots are completely immune because the lurkers won't attack underneath the D-Web. He moves in and storms them underneath. Brilliant play by Cal, using those Corsairs that he already had to make his ground attack that much more effective. Absolutely epic play there by Cal. Very, very nice move. And he's still got all those Corsairs. Forces coming in from the back, though. If he's got one more D-Web, he can D-Web all 3 of those lurkers, or he could storm all 3 of those lurkers as well if he's got a storm in the bank, but that High Templar may not. And there's the 2 D-Webs going down, completely stopping all the lurkers from doing anything. And now he's got an observer right there. The Dragoons can just go to work on those lurkers. They are a little bit distracted by some lings coming out from the side. And look at this. The Zealots actually run in to engage the lurkers and stop once they get underneath the Disruption Web. That is actually hilarious. But Cal pressing this attack. He is continuing to press home this attack, running into this expansion. Storm's going down. He actually storms the leg. Is he going to... Yes, he... sorry, the eggs rather. He storms the drones as well, and Winnie the Pooh is so sad that this is happening to ggaemo. He is hanging his head in shame. Cal getting up his 4th base on the left side of the map. ggaemo needs to hold this so badly. He does barely hold. If he were to have lost that base, it would basically be game. It may be game anyway, because, well, Cal just has a huge advantage. He's got a huge econ advantage, right? Well, not a huge econ advantage, but an econ advantage due to storming all those workers in the midst of the attack. And yeah, ggaemo didn't have tons and tons of drones to start off with. Zerg players rarely do. And there's... I have no idea who that is. You don't usually see... middle-aged or older women at StarCraft events. It's just not very common. Single Templar just run in. You know what? I'm just gonna walk into Mordor and storm all the orcs. That's what I'm gonna do. Anyway, going into and just harassing this natural, de-webbing the Spore Colony. Wow, I don't know if Blizzard ever actually expected. I mean, that's like what Blizzard designed the D-Web to be for, is to Disruption Web static defenses like Spore Colonies, and it's never actually used in the first place, and it's not often used for that purpose. You usually see Disruption Web actually used to de-web Hydralisks to protect Reavers in Corsair Reaver play. So wow, going in, de-webbing the Hydras and the Spores so he can kill Overlords. Absolutely beautiful. Now he's going to again come in here and de-web some of the static defenses. The Sunken Colonies are not doing anything right now. but they're not firing because they're disruption webbed. It looks like one Sun Colony in the back is still not within it. He storms those Hydras trying to protect it as well. Corsair's doing massive amounts of damage while just a few units come in here and rampage away as the static defenses are completely shut down by these disruption webs. Beautiful play by Cal. This is, oh my goodness, this is absolutely awesome. 12 years after the recent release of Brood War, players still mixing things up and doing things that we haven't seen before, or haven't seen very often before at the very least. I don't think I've seen a pro game where Disruption Web was used like this, ever. And I've been watching tons of Brood War games for the last 3.5 years. Almost 4 years, basically. I've been watching stuff. Well, 3.5 years. Coming up on 3.5 years of casting, actually, next month, which will be pretty cool. Wow. So Cal is just running away with this game. Here we go. This is exactly. Oh, yeah. This is exactly what he needs to do. He needs to actually. Is he on 5 bases? I think Cal might be on 5 bases. He might be on 4 soon, though. Lurkers burrowing behind those workers are going to kill off lots of probes, but he's within range of the cannon. Oh no! It looks like he threw away his Corsairs, his precious Corsairs, which were doing so much epic damage and aiding his attacks in such awesome ways. I think have just gone down. I think he just left them up there to kill overlords, and it looks like they all went down to the spore colonies once they woke up from D-Web. Wow. So anyway, but ggaemo really needs to take out some bases. I mean, he needs to go and do something. He needs to start doing more lurker drops behind the mineral line and crap like that to try and come back to this game, because he is falling farther and farther behind. Cal is now at I think 5 bases. And ggaemo still at 4. Yes, Cal at 5, ggaemo at 4. Cal's probably mined out of 2 of them, but ggaemo is almost mined out in 2 of them as well. Here comes another battle going into the natural expansion. Cal going for the killer. He's got observers overhead to spot for the spot the lurkers, and the Hydralisks are now in play. He's kind of doing a mix of everything actually, but the Hydralisks are going to be able to force back those observers. 4 observers, 5 observers right there in that clump. So he is not going to just get his observer snipe. That is pretty much the way that a Zerg who is behind can try and hold the game out longer to try and get back into it in the long term, is by sniping observers with Scourge in order to let their lurkers do more damage. Since, well, the Protoss don't have magical scanning abilities to just get an instant detection wherever it happened to be. Robotic support bay now going down for Cal. He's transitioning into the Reavers. So, I mean, those are kind of... The Reavers are going to be better against the late game units of the Zerg if he goes to Ultralisks or something like that. They're just going to be a lot better. Masslings, etc. Storms are definitely good. He has a ton of High Templar there. Not much support units, actually, so these Templars are in a little bit of danger. Beautiful storms, though, actually. Catching a few Zerglings. Looks like he stormed one of his observers, but he's still got 4 left. Look at this. He's got so many Templar he can storm single lurker eggs at this point, and there's nothing that ggaemo can do about it right now, unless ggaemo just needs to pull off something crazy. He's got Defilers. We saw Defiler Mound. He must have consumed by now. That is a way that he could get back into this game, is by dropping Zerglings and Defilers and killing off bases like that. She looks really sad for some reason. She's like, she's looking around like she was looking for something. Anyway, sorry about that. I'm sorry that a girl in Korea is looking sad. It's my fault. Lots of units on the map for both players. ggaemo does have a large army at the very least. If he can maybe wipe out Cal's army and then do a counterattack. Nice storms on the Hydralisks, though, not dodging at all. Tons of Zerglings coming in, but he's got a couple High Templar there. Attacking from behind. Beautiful storms catching all the lings. Nice, enormous pile of blood created there at the bottom of that ramp as the Zerglings just try and charge through that swarm, but he may be out of storms, and more units are trying to through there. Only a few Dragoons left as attack units. He may fight this off. He is going to fight this off. He's going to be able to kill all those Templars. Oh, man. Oh, what those Templars wouldn't have given for a storm. That would have been awesome if he was able to storm all those units there. Zoom in on Cal's face as he loses his High Templars in the middle of the map. ggaemo starting to maybe scrap his way back into the game. Yes, Winnie the Pooh is excited that ggaemo is getting back into this game now. Drones being transferred out of the main to a new expansion, or probably to that 5th base over on the right of the map. I'm surprised he hasn't taken more bases, especially since he's got a base just near his natural expansion, ggaemo that is a good good base to take. Anyway, so Cal putting Reavers everywhere. And that's the other thing why you need Reavers is because Reavers do their full damage underneath Swarm, underneath Dark Swarm. So if the Zerg does do a Zergling attack with swarms underneath, on top of them, the only way that you can really deal with that is with storms and with Reavers. And so Reavers are good things to just kind of camp. You don't have to pay attention to them for them to hold off an attack like that if they're in the right position. So that's why it's good to have those Reavers around. Obviously, Zealots, yes, attacks under Swarm as well. But if there's a couple lurkers there, then it's difficult for them to do much. In any case, speaking of lurkers, a little bit of a force moving down the map. Here comes some Zerglings running in to try and take out this base on the right, this fledgling base. They are going to be able to take that out. They do have the Adrenal Gland upgrade, which makes them attack ridiculously fast. So he is going to take out those cannons and the Zealot, but a few more Zealots coming in are going to be able to fight that off and save that location for the moment. He can still, of course, send some more Zerglings back down there and take things out pretty easily if he wanted to. It's relatively undefended. I mean, those Zealots are still there, but they're moving out now. So they're not there anymore. There they are right now. ggaemo, we just saw him consuming some Zerglings with that Defiler. He may be thinking of going for some kind of he may just be preparing for an attack in the middle or something like that. But he may also be thinking in terms of, I'm going to go take out this base now with some Swarm, some Dark Swarm. ggaemo looking very intent there for a moment. Not a huge army for Cal right now, and this is not the right time to ask me if I want to do a new version of my recording program. I apologize for that. Plague going down on a lot of Protoss units, and Cal doesn't seem to have too huge of an army right now. I mean, maybe he's got just like infinite probes and he just doesn't have enough supply for an actual army. Go, there is his army, never mind. Protoss Dark Archon in the mix. I'm really curious to see what he's going to do with that. He could either feedbacking Defilers is awesome. It's completely awesome. They have a lot of hit points, but they don't have any energy if you feedback them, obviously. He could also theoretically do some Maelstroming, which is also very, very awesome. 4 Reavers in play. Oh my goodness, those Zerglings never stood a chance. Luckily for those few Zerglings that made it through the first volley, that all those Reavers targeted like the same Zergling apparently. Anyway, he's got speed Reavers, speed shuttles carrying Reavers around. Looks like yes, one Reaver does go down. He needs to protect those a little bit better. He can't just throw them around. Oh my gosh, 3 Reavers go down. Only 1 Reaver survives. And Cal is actually going to have to back up here. Looks like he didn't bring an observer with him. So he couldn't actually detect those lurkers, and the lurkers took out the Reavers unhindered. Wow, Cal now getting another base up on the right side of the map, though. ggaemo, though, has taken all the bases on the north half of the map, basically. The north third of the map, I should say. You can see little blue splotches everywhere. He may not have taken one of them. But ggaemo is trying to come back in this game as far as... And oh, is he going to do a drop? He's going in with some Overlords. Go back over there. He's not dropping there. He's just running Overlords past, I guess. That's kind of strange, but oh well. He's getting ready. He's got some Zerglings there, and there's that same sad girl sticking her tongue out, sort of idly. Very interesting. She's so random. Okay, he was just going to burrow some lurkers behind the supply line there. A nice move, but there is an observer and some Reavers there, so it's not going to do a ton of damage. It looks like there's 5 kills on that lurker, actually, though, so we did get a few workers out of it. Not a bad deal. Wow. So, ggaemo fighting his way back into this, though, being distracting enough. And oh, the observer's right there. The Scourge were running in there, and the observer was just chilling above there. And there we go. He Scourges that observer. You might as well. And now he's bringing in another Overlord, probably with a couple more lurkers inside it, to deal with that. So ggaemo is getting scrappy, and this is what you need to do as Zerg, is get scrappy, drop lurkers everywhere, behind everything, and try and fight your way back into it. And here comes that drop. Looks like it was a little bit halted there. Anyway, lots of... Oh, here comes the brand new base in that location that I thought ggaemo didn't have is under attack now. It's just right next to the actual expansion. 3 more Reavers coming out. Now he has a couple observers in play. Scourger in the mix. Plagues the Reavers. Is he going to get the shuttles? He gets one of the shuttles, possibly the other one as well. The Reavers have been slowed down now. They're plagued as well. They're very, very vulnerable, but they have a large army around them. If he can survive, if he can keep that army in front of them...